Let me share with you the legacy of Belle Meade Plantation as a foundation for America's thoroughbred horse lineage. I'd like to say that credit goes to Bob Green and the trainers and jockeys of African American descent who worked for the stud farm and the Harding family. Robert Green, known also as Uncle Bob Green, was born in America on American soil and assigned into the American slavery system. He was famous for his wisdom of horses and instrumental in making Belle Meade Stud Farm famous for its thoroughbreds. He was gifted as a wedding present in 1829 to Mary Selena McNary, wife of General Harding. Her family owned his mother, according to the newspaper. He would witness the Civil War, emancipation, and many, many more events at Belle Meade. On September 12th, he was shot in 1862 by a group of soldiers who came to take goods from Belle Meade. In 1863, President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation for certain states, freeing all who were enslaved. I've had the pleasure of walking around Belle Meade. I've had the pleasure of actually participating as a volunteer and as an employee of Belle Meade Plantation. And I could see the charm of the farm. I can see exactly what Bob Green saw in his love for Belle Meade. Mr. Bob chose to stay in the employment of the Harding family after emancipation. He also married Ellen Watkins on December 11, 1872, and together they raised several children who adored their parents. The rustling of the wind, I'm sure, helped Mr. Bob go into the American tradition of creating his own life and developing new habits as a free man for himself and his family. Walk with me, if you will, and imagine where Bob Green grew up with the horses and his love for the farm, being in the open air, and just the foundation for him becoming who he became to America and to Nashville. Belle Meade Plantation was one of the greatest attractions in the United States for its thoroughbred nursery, its hospitality, and the stallions and stories by Uncle Bob. Trust me, he was widely respected and an astute horseman. This is the cabin that Uncle Bob lived in with his family. He also had a place over there by Granny White Pike where he raised his family. And of course, this was his home away from home. His love of the horses truly, truly showed in how he lived. The landscape of Belle Meade with daisies, bellflowers, and foliage, all of that changed from spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Just beautiful, and today it's still as beautiful. Can you imagine collecting hickory nuts, walks amongst the 6-acre deer park, or just looking at the cashmere goats and looking at the grasses, the sky, going into the kitchen garden, looking at the leaves change, and all the waterlogged dirt paths, all subject to terrible storms, thunder, rain, and lightning, dark days and night flashes. It was all there with Uncle Bob, and it's still here now, and I'll tell you, it's beautiful. The Civil War had taken its toll, yes, but the reform movement of the 1890s, all of the hard times caused by the financial crisis of 1893, they really put a hurting on a lot of the people that had the farms, that had the horses. For Uncle Bob to witness the Civil War, for him to witness the people that came and celebrated, whether it was Jefferson Davis, whether it was people that were celebrating Deer Park, or the new president-elect, whether it was just visitors coming to enjoy the hospitality and coming to share the stories of old. Bob Green was there. He saw it all, including that beautiful wife of the president's. Yes, Uncle Bob had his own family and he had his own grandchildren. And it prompted me to write a book, Uncle Bob Loves the Royal Family, because he loved the horses. He and his wife loved the charm of the farm. They loved the opportunities that were given them and the opportunities that they created. Uncle Bob did pass away, and he was buried right there at Belle Meade. I stand in salute to you, Uncle Bob Green of Nashville, Tennessee.